The next one is when you have noon sakin followed by the yarmaloon, and I will also try and do these as they come by, which is the noon sakin followed by the ba, which is the changeover. So let's see if we can find any of those as well. So we'll do them along, so inshallah. This one, qariyatim. Now what's happening here? The noon sakin is merging into the meme. Qariyatim min nabiyyin, and here it's not, you see, running tanween, because there's an idgham happening here. There's a merging of the noon sakin with the meme. Qariyatim min, and then min, again there's a merging here. Noon sakin merging with the noon here, and it's min nabiyyin, and because it's not merging here, there's an idhar, so we're going to be idhar, we're going to be showing it nabiyyin illa. Okay, you see that? So here on the table in front of us, what I've done is I've I found examples from the Qur'an. This is in the blue are those from the Usmani Mushaf, and these are from the Nastaleeq or the subcontinent Mushaf. I wanted you to see what was different from in each one, so yeah, it would be easier for you to understand. So I've taken out examples with the tanween, and this is all related to our yarmaloon rules, the merging, the idgham rules. Okay, as you can see, there's quite a few of them because we've got the 6. So I've tried to get as many as I could. We'll begin with the merging of the noon sakin. Here's your tanween. Right after the tanween, you have the noon sakin, and because it's salihan nu'tiha, there's a complete merging. This represents the complete merging here, the shadda. Okay, here also is the same, similar, as you can see, salihan nu'tiha. What do you see the difference between the two? Here it's just showing you that you're going to be holding the merging sound, the ghunnah, and this staggered tanween shows that something you have to do here, and something's happening here, whereas here it doesn't have those guidelines, but of course the reading would be the same. Salihan nu'tiha, salihan nu'tiha. Okay, alright, let's go to the next one. Fa'iddatum min, you see that? Again, there's the tanween, there's a noon sakin here, and it's followed by the meme, and you see the way the tanween is sitting. It's not like the ones that go around, like sitting on top of one another. They're just rolling, like the staggered. Fa'iddatum min, showing that you have to merge it. And here again, fa'iddatum min, you see the way? This is the way this usually is shown, right, the tanween, but here, as you can see, to mark out what's happening, they've done it this way. Alright, so that's a very good way to understand that there's a idgham coming up, there's a meme shad coming after the tanween, and there's going to be a merging, and this is how it's done. Okay, and here again, thamaratir rizqan qa, here you see again the staggered tanween, the kasra tanween, and then it's followed by a ra, which is in shad, it's merging, and when it's merging, it's completely merging, which is where you see famaratir riz, you see that, and the staggered is the indication, the staggered tanween is the indication of something happening to the next, to the sound of the ghunnah. As you merge it here, of course, it's without the ghunnah, but it's a complete merging, and this represents that. Here, you don't have that. Everything is as is. The tanween is sitting one on top of the other. The reader, the reciter, knows that he or she has to read it thamaratir riz, thamaratir rizqan qa. Again, you see that the tanween sitting here, it's one on top of the other, whereas here it's staggered, again showing that after the letter, the tanween, there is a letter that will cause it to have ikhfa. So again, you know that something has to be done there. Okay, and this one, khayrul lahu, you see this again, there's a staggered, that you've got the staggered tanween, the dhammas here. Khayrul lahu. There's a complete merging here of the noon sakin into with the lam, and of course it's without the ghunnah, but and you see that little waw here, which is showing that there's a waw madda here. This will be pulled 2 counts. Khayrul lahu. Here in this one, the pulling of 2 counts is shown by this. It's called an ulta pesh, and you pull it 2 counts. It's the same thing. This is an abbreviated version, and this is the abbreviated version. Khayrul lahu. But you see the tanween as it sits on top of one another, and here it doesn't. Here it's running side by side. Alright, so again, the reader here, reciter here knows or learns that, you know, every time there's a shad here, khayrul lahu, khayrul lahu. That's how the noon sakin will be not heard in this. Alright, and here we have sorry, I've got 2 or 3 2 examples here. I didn't go into the getting another one, the red version of this from the subcontinent script. But as you see, and another thing very definite about the Arabic script is that you'll always have the hamza sitting like this. You'll never see a plain alif. What in our script in the subcontinent, anything that falls on top of the alif, whether it's Dhamma, Kasra, Fatha, Sakin, it'll immediately, the person reading it realizes that it is a Hamza. Okay? Anything on the Alif causes it to become a Hamza. On its own, it's an Alif. Here, it'll represent, the Hamza will be sitting there. And there's the Dhamma. Ummatan wasatun. As you can see, there's no Shadda represented here. And that is because it is not a complete merging. It still has the staggered still has a staggered tanween, because the reader knows that he has to merge it within with the waw. There will be the sound of the ghunnah, but it's not complete merging, which is why it is represented just by the fatha on top. Here again is another example. Halalun, you see the staggered dhammas. Right after that you have the waw, and you see that it's just got fatha on top. It doesn't have the shad. Halalun, so the reader knows that he has to merge it, and you will hear the sound of the ghunnah, but it's not an entire merge. So there's not a definite sound of the noon sakin here. The ghunnah. It's not. You can't hear the ghunnah entirely. It is partial. So you see this. Now this is how they would write it. Now this is where the difference comes. That here it doesn't have the shadda on it. Neither does it have the staggered dhammas. It has the dhammas sitting one on top of the other, and as you would see in the idhar in the Arabic Mushaf, in the Usmani Mushaf, and here halalun wa hadha, because here the reciter has to know that this is how he or she is going to merge it. Halalun wa hadha, because this is incomplete. This is why they don't represent it with the shad. So the reading, as you can see, is exactly the same, but this makes, it's that code that helps you understand, okay, this is what's happening here. Okay, and here again it's the same thing, because there's an incomplete merge. Here you have the man yattakhidhu. You have the noon. As you can see, there's nothing on the noon, because it's representing the fact that there's a ghunnah that needs to be held as you say it. Man yattakhidhu. Okay, and here you see that there's a sakin on the noon, and it's man yattakhidhu. You see there's no shadda here, and there's shadda here. And that is because this is showing you that it's incomplete, so there's not entirely a merging, and here it's not giving you that format. Okay, which is where some people get confused in this. All right, but this is something that is easy once you get used to it. It's you just read it like as if it's normal. In fact, I'm getting so used to reading the Usmani script now that I'm not even remembering the differences. Okay, and here we have the same noon sakin followed by a ya. Another example of it. You see the way this is a hamza sitting on top. and here you won't have that hamza sitting on top. As I said, as soon as an alif has anything on it, it becomes it's known to the reader that it is a hamza. So the same thing, we'll say the same thing, wa in ya'tukum, and you see the way here the waw madda is not represented by this, the waw doesn't have the sakin on it, whereas here it does. You will still say wa in ya'tu, pulling it for 2 counts, but here you will do the same, you will pull it for 2 counts, but the reader knows that this is in the state, this is a pull, so it's not really in a state of a sukoon, right? Yeah. Wa in ya'tukum, you're pulling it 2 counts. Here also the reader knows it's pulling that you're pulling it 2 counts. Wa in ya'tukum. But you see the way, these are these little minute differences that the readers or the people who are reading the script need to keep in mind. Alright, and that is for your Yarmaloon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.